I call the member for Forrest.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker, and I rise today to give voice to the Western Australian families who were shafted by the WA State Labor Government's decision to close down the demersal fishing industry, both commercially forever and indeed recreationally for some 21 months, with the ban curiously being lifted just out from the next state election in 2029. I'm sure it was on the basis of robust scientific advice. But that's where the plot thickens a little, because on October 31 last year, the Commonwealth certified the demersal fishery in Western Australia as sustainable for the 7th time. So the Commonwealth science, for the 7th consecutive time, suggested that the fishery was perfectly sustainable, and 33 days later, the Western Australian Fisheries Minister stood up and described the industry as being on the brink of causing extinction for species like jewfish. So, having locked out fishing for some 900-kilometre closure, impacting 80% of the Western Australian population, but particularly in towns like Bunbury and Augusta in the electorate of Forrest, home to multi-generational fishing businesses, this has stripped their livelihoods and their family businesses built over some 100 years of experience in those particular fishing grounds with less than a month's notice. And it was brought home particularly to me when I met, standing on the fishing wharf in Bunbury, a young guy about my age, mid-30s, who had actually stepped out from the family fishing business, had gone to the bank, got a very substantial loan of some hundreds of thousands of dollars and bought his own fishing boat. The Western Australian Government processed the licence transfer so that he too was a commercial shark fisherman, and 10 days later the government announced the permanent closure of the fishery. No details on the compensation package, no future for him, his business, the new employees he'd just taken on, and of course that boat that he'd just bought was now worthless because nobody in Western Australia can buy a shark fishing boat. Why is a shark fishing boat caught up in a demersal fishing ban? Well, because 0.4% of the jewfish and snapper caught in Western Australia as bycatch of shark fishing, well, 0.4% was enough for the Western Australian minister to cancel their licences permanently. And so I don't know whether they've jumped the shark, whether their science is wrong and the Commonwealth is right, or vice versa. But there are clear questions to answer, and I've written to the Federal Minister to ask her to intervene and sort this mess out. Unfortunately, in the first response, she's denied any responsibility or any concern about the science. This has a long way to go.